Oh. Just a little groan from the couch. How you doing, Joey dear?
Good, Felicia Michaels. What's happening?
Oh, Joey, I'm a little exhausted. I had a pretty fun weekend in Austin at the Velveeta Room this weekend. I had such a good time.
Texas is always a fucking good time.
You know what? Austin is always an awesome time. I hung out with my friend Tom Hester. He says hello, by the way. My friend Tom Hester, you know what's really cool about getting a little age under your belt is you really get to see your friends transform. You know what I mean? You really get to see your friends finally stop making questionable decisions in their lives, including your friends get to see that about you. And it was really cool to see a bunch of my friends in Austin, comedians who I've known for 15 years or so, even longer, and to see what exciting things they're doing and what things they've stopped doing. That's all I got to say about that, Joey.
It's weird doing comedy all these years, and you see how many people have just fallen off. You know, like I was thinking about somebody that I worked with at Wits End. I wasn't even on stage. I was the sound guy. And
Yeah.
we became friends, and he was gung-ho. He was a kid from New Mexico. He was young. He was handsome, and I've never seen him again. It's amazing the people you go through. So when you see people that you used to fucking tear the walls down with and, you know, light the hotel rooms on fire with, and now they want to go home at 10, and they're talking about writing jokes and, you know, maybe going to the gym tomorrow morning at 8, and you're like, what the fuck? I remember when we used to do blow till 8 o'clock. You know, we'd go for fucking breakfast at 8.
Yeah.
So it really is neat. And you know, what pisses me off about people is that when people change sometimes for the better, they get negative about somebody.
They get negative
It's
sometimes.
the fucking weirdest time, and
yeah.
especially in Texas, where everybody parties and everybody should party. You know, if I ever move to Texas full time, I know I got to loosen up my belt a little bit and throw this pussy little image I have away, and I might have to do a couple bumps and shoot some people. That's Texas.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. But you know, it's really weird that when some people go for the better and better themselves, and they don't give a fuck what anybody says. They know what they're going through. Maybe they made somebody special in their life, or they got rid of somebody who they now want to spread their wings more, and they felt trapped. And it's weird how sometimes when you see somebody, you're happy for them, but you could tell the people around them aren't really happy. Like, oh, he don't party no more. He thinks he's better than we are. No. I just one morning woke up and fucking didn't want to hang over no more.
Yeah.
I was sick of being broke. I was sick of not working as a comic. I was sick of people saying I couldn't drink till after the second show. You know, It gets fucking old after a while. And sometimes it's too late, but just to see somebody work the steps and do the right thing, you know those motherfuckers are funny. You know that they're really funny and shit.
Absolutely. Well, and I worked at this place called the Velveeta Room. There's 2 clubs in Austin, Cap City, which is owned by and operated by one of the Miller brothers with some partners, and then a great club, and then the Velveeta Room, which is like it's kind of a hole in the wall on 6th Street, and there's people partying with their booties hanging out right outside the door, and it's kind of crazy, and you go inside, and it's like a workshop, you know what I mean? Like, they really support creativity in Austin, and it's really like, it's one of those places, like, if you work a normal comedy club, it's like a little baby theater, and you feel, threatened when you try new material. You feel like if you're not going in there and doing, cleaning up the show and making sure it's 100%, you feel like you're letting people down. And I really like that this club, it wasn't about that. It was about being creative and trying new material and seeing other people do their craft. It was really interesting because I've known my friend Tom Hester for a long time, and Tom admittedly doesn't write a ton of new material, but let me tell you what he does do. He has crafted his material to every nuance. Like, it's really an amazing thing to see, and he does switch up the tags here and there, but he is a great joke writer in his own right. But it was really interesting to see. And I said, Tom, like, your stuff is so tight. And he's like, yeah, I practice my mannerisms and my little characters in the mirror all the time. And I used to make fun of people that did that. And now I'm starting to realize at my fucking age, like, well, maybe that's what I should be doing. Because comedy is different for me. Comedy, to me, is like a dare. Like, get on stage, and I can't practice it in front of the mirror. I have to dare myself, because it's like a fucking triple dog dare to me, to do it. And I was thinking as I was watching Tom, like, doing these sets over and over, like, fuck, maybe I should grow up a little bit and really work on the craft of my comedy. But it's a hard thing when you get comfortable in that, because you're very spontaneous on stage. I'm very inspired by how you never have the same show twice at all, and it's I admire that, you know what I mean. But I'm starting to admire people who are very precise in what they're saying.
It's weird. I never liked. I did a play last year. Were we hanging out when I did the play and I got fired because the guy got? It was hysterical. There was the director didn't get along with the one actor. And the second day of rehearsals, the main actor quit, and we got replaced. And throughout this, I sat down and I listened. And I thought that, I'm the type of guy that, I have these comedy insecurities and all this shit, as we all do. And when I go into a new realm, I just keep my mouth shut and I watch and I try to learn and see what's really going on. So I had never done theater before. And these guys fucking were just wastes of life. And I didn't know this. I was rehearsing and playing the game, and then more people kept quitting that were theater people. One day they got fired me, and it was really weird that I didn't like rehearsing. I fucking hate rehearsing. That's one thing I do not like at all. I don't know what I'm going to say, and I don't know how the fuck I'm going to say it. Let's just turn on the light and the mic, and let's get to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I like. I like live performance. That's why I believe in the open mic. I don't like the catered open mic. I like the open mic that runs wild, and people come in and they get a beer and they sit in the back and watch. And I believe in the open mic. That's what you believe in also. I really believe in the open mic. And it's funny because the last couple shows I've been doing, I've had, in my eyes, shit sets, but in people's eyes, they're great sets. But in my eyes as a comic,
absolutely.
And I said, what has been missing? What has been missing that I've had too much on my plate lately, and I couldn't do those little sets again. And thank God I have the Ha Ha Cafe where they call me 30 minutes before I go on stage and they go, hey, you want to come down?
Yeah.
You're not doing nothing? And I'm like, fuck it. It takes me 20 minutes to take a shower and get in my car and get down there. And I started working those 15-minute sets again. And it's the same thing. I mean, it's you need that.
Yeah.
You do need that. And it's great to have it for a weekend.
Oh, yeah. It's
it's
really
great to have for a weekend to do 45 minutes loose for a weekend. That's a complete different. There's no net for 45 minutes. You don't have to have a beginning, a middle, or an end. You usually have a beginning, and then a waitress drops a glass, or somebody brings a kid into the room or something.
Right.
And that's the middle, and the ending is your middle. And fuck it, you didn't even do those 20 minutes.
Yeah, and you feel safe to do new material. Like I get all, when you're doing 45 minutes, like I said, I get all uptight about trying new material. By the way, if you hear that clicking, it's because it's windy and my roof fan or whatever is going to town. But so I really enjoyed Austin, and I went and I got a pair of cowboy boots. That was cool. And before I went to Austin, I went and saw your one-man show. Oh shit, you guys! I was so impressed by your one-man show.
Thank you. As a matter of fact, we're going to use your closing. I think that the thing you added at the end, because I had been thinking about something like that, but your observation of the closing was really fucking amazing to switch it up. I can't give it away, but it's thank you for coming.
I'm glad I came because I felt, honestly, Joey, so many people do not support their friends in LA. It's totally true.
Listen, I am
it's
the type of
fucking
person.
True.
Let's get this out of the way. I want support from comics or anybody like I want a fucking dick up my ass. I believe in one thing. I believe in number one, you have to go do your set. I fucking hate when I go somewhere and there's 20 comics. It bothers me the next day. Like, didn't you have a set last night? I do not like that. I don't like it with comedians. And like my friends call me like, bro, we can't make it. We live in Huntington Beach. Dog, I'm sitting here furious. No.
Yeah.
Because I know how I am at 9 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I appreciate everybody who comes out. And like I said, it was a 4-week run. And with the comics that came, I always take notes from comics. Little notes. And some comics are fucking goofy. But the people who know me, like you, come over and go, Joey, I heard this story. Say it this way. Or, you know what? When you said it on the podcast and you came up with some great stuff. And I appreciate that you went.
I mean, it was. I'm so glad I went on the last one, by the way, that I didn't come up closer to the front because it was really inspiring. I mean, I think you as a performer are inspiring anyway. I don't mean to kiss your ass, and I'm not kissing your ass.
No, you're my girl.
I've told you to fuck off before, but
but I wanted to talk to you about on the podcast about that. You had seen The first time I put it up.
I saw it like
and
a
you left
year
pale.
and a half
It was so
ago.
bad. We were just throwing ideas, and I had this guy that had come from theater and was trying to turn me into a theater actor on stage, and I was listening to him, and all of a sudden, after we did the 10-10 thing, I realized that, you know what? Say what the fuck you want to say. I might not be the funniest guy in the world. I'm no fucking Mel Gibson, but I could tell a story. I'll take you for a psychological ride.
Sure, yeah.
So I decided to do it this way, and you went to the first one. It was completely different. It was a completely different story. I didn't even want to talk about my daughter, and it's so weird that I told these stories one night, and some guy said, "Why don't you need something to mend everything together, guy. If not, it's just a bunch of stories. It's not a one-man show." And he goes, "I want you to talk about what bothers you don't like talking about," and it's my daughter.
Yeah.
So we put it out to the forefront, and it's been very fucking interesting. And I'm happy you came.
I'm so glad I came in. I have to say, too, like, it's really cool when you have a friend or someone you know who perseveres at something. I hope I'm saying that right, because when you did that first show and I went and saw it, I mean, it was kind of awkward, but I really admired how you just fucking throw yourself out there. Like, you're a hard worker, and we've talked about that before, and the fact that you just get up and you do it, and you have to. Like this weekend in Austin, you know, I paid some chick to come and video me, and I was kind of bummed, like, all the shows weren't, you know, like 100%. Like, I had, you know, 2 awesome shows and then 2 other shows where I did a lot of new material, and I was kind of freaking out, like, oh, I spent this money and I did this, and I'll for sure get something sweet out of it. But I got down on myself, and then I was like, you know what? The point is, you keep moving. You have to keep moving, and you keep trying, and you can't just beat yourself up all the time. You know, even if something's not 100%, even if it's 75%, something good will always come out of it because you're putting energy out in the world.
And this does not apply just to stand-up.
Absolutely.
This is if you're fucking making ceramic tiles for a living, and you think the number's not going to hit, but you keep doing your thing and you keep having your dream, eventually you might make a fucking tile that's awkward and it might be a success, but you wouldn't have known if you didn't do it.
Yeah.
If you don't do something, for 9 years I sat in this town and I went to auditions, and that was it. And I wrote jokes, you know? And I figured out that sometimes you write jokes that aren't really a joke, but it's funny. It's an observation of your life or something, and you got to do something with it. So I figured out a way to anything that I write, I'm going to get a value out of it. There's no more sitting in front of a notebook. We've talked about this before. So if I write something about my aunt, if it doesn't work as a joke, it'll go on a one-man show, or I'll put it in a book. So there's no more wasted energy in my life anymore. No matter what I do. The twits, they're throwaway twits, and the Facebook things of me sniffing my balls and thanking God, that's throwaway stuff. I don't mind putting that out there. But all the other shit that I used to just... I have pages like you of waste.
Yeah.
Waste. And I finally figured out there's no waste.
You just got to figure out where to put it.
Where to put it. And you have 3 things going on. And you know what? You got a book. Ha, ha, ha. Felicia and Joey think they're going to write a book. Ha, ha, ha. Well, bitch, if I put 3 pages in that book once a week, motherfucker, after a year, I'm going to have a book, bitch. And if you put me on a long run when I smoke some good weed and my wife leaves for 4 hours, you know what I'm saying?
Watch out.
Fuck you. And next thing you know, and it's what happened with this one-man show. I was unconscious. You know, every time I put it at the theater, it cost me $200, $200. And it was too hard to get it together. But once I got the Ice House, and thank God for the Ice House, the main room and the annex for giving me the shot, I had a chance to really work on it every week like a machine gun, just like jokes.
Yeah.
I was trying to do the one-man show once a month. You're not going to get nowhere.
No,
Sorry.
you got to do it more. That's like comedy.
You got to do it 3 times a fucking month in front of people, like Starbucks, whatever. Hey, Starbucks, how many customers you got down there? You got 4. Tell them Uncle Joey's buying fucking one of those tough fucking candies.
Biscottis.
Biscottis. I'm on my way.
Biscottis are on Joey.
And that's it. I was always interested in knowledge. Like, I knew I was fucking stupid, but I wanted to have facts in my head. Like, I wanted to have facts about history and shit. But by the time I would get to sign up for the classes at CMC, which is Colorado Mountain College, a tremendous school program throughout the whole state of Colorado. So you go to Colorado Mountain College anywhere. You go to Starbucks in Colorado Mountain. They usually have it at the grammar schools. Now it's gone online. I don't like that shit. I want you to go into the class. But they helped me so much because I would always sign up for these classes, Felicia, as a joke. As a joke, Felicia. Intro to world history, residential wiring,
Really?
Oh
As a
my God.
joke?
I loved it. And I would do homework and do the term papers, and then the season would end, and I'd sign up for, intro to Western civilization and American political systems. And then and I would do that. And I'd be robbing houses, doing blow, working as a plumber or a waiter or a
Right.
bartender, whatever the fuck I was doing. But for some reason, I always went to class Tuesday and Thursday. And then I got cocky. I said, you know what? They'll let me do it on the arm. So I would go to class on Monday nights, and I'd take something stupid, intro to math. And one day, I said, fuck it, I'm moving to Boulder. And I go, well, what am I going to do? I guess that was a waste of fucking time. 3 years in Aspen, wasting my time.
Right.
And all of a sudden, I look in the fucking Boulder paper, and they're like, Colorado Mountain College. And I went down there like, Mr. Diaz, you're a fucking, like a sophomore here.
Really?
You get like a little sweater with a bula and a hat with a pin and the whole thing. I'm not kidding you. I mean,
Your
they
own
didn't give
personal
me
hacky sack?
they didn't give me a sweater. They didn't give me a sweater. But you know how Colorado is, how everybody's so nice and shit.
Yeah.
And I signed up again and again. And the end of the story is one day they came to me and said, Mr. Diaz, we have to talk to you. I'm thinking, oh my God, they know I'm a felon. They know I robbed those erasers from the class. Something. I didn't know what. And they're like, listen, we counted your credits and you qualify to go into the university now. And you qualify to go to the University of Colorado. You took the right amount of classes. You have a great counselor. I'm sitting there going, I was my counselor. Took like a 3-week appointment thing to get a counselor in college. Fuck you. I'm going to sit and talk to you about what I want to take. And I got to the University of Colorado. Again, doing blow, selling cars. Here I was, the University of Colorado, with nice white kids and black kids who wore shirt and ties. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And my name was Jose. But the bottom line of the story is, no matter what I was doing, I always took those stupid fucking classes on Tuesday and Thursday.
You have to. In fact, my friend Wendy was struggling with some stuff, and because she moved to the other part of town, which nobody wants to drive to in Venice, and she's just like, what do I do with my time? I'm so lonely. Bitch, take a class. Take an art class. Do something. Like when I did comedy and I had quit for a while the first time for a few months, I went to NYU Film School. Like, you gotta go, and it's a great place to meet people that have like interests that you have, and you just have to keep moving on, moving forward, move the pieces forward. Even if you waste your time a little bit on something good will come out of it. Something good will.
And it's just amazing how everything. You're right. It's amazing not only when you see your friends evolve, but when you see you evolve. Like, you see little steps, and like, I'm putting shit in notebooks. Like, I would leave the house in the morning, and I didn't know where I was going to end up. I might be going to see Felicia, but I ended up at the weed store smoking dope with Ari. That's how my life was. And then I'd stop by Felicia's and take care of business, but there was always fluff in between. Well, fucking 5 years ago, I eliminated that fluff. And I love it. I love it. Like, where you headed, I'm going to Felicia's, and then from there I'm making a left, and I'm going to Yum Yums, and then from there, I know my route before I fucking leave the house. I too am pretty excited. I don't really get excited about a lot of road gigs. I haven't been getting excited lately. Like, I was really happy about Milwaukee, and then to watch them play yesterday, and they're gonna win the World Series, Milwaukee. I have a feeling.
You think?
Yeah, because I was up there. I'm like the jinx. I know, and they got a great team, and I'm happy for the city. I've always believed in that city. I like small American cities. People have forgotten about them, but I love those old American. Cleveland, Milwaukee, Green Bay, and Green Bay's a fucking small little city, but I like all those cities. But it's crazy that I'm really excited because this week I get to go to Texas. But I'm going to my second fucking home, Houston, Texas. And it's funny because I've been going to Houston, Texas since '98, but I was always a fan of the Houston Oilers as a kid. I liked Earl Campbell. It's so weird when you grow up as a comic and all of a sudden you're in that town and you're like, I used to be a fan of the Houston Oilers. I ain't going to tell nobody and shit. And it's just weird that I started going there and I started meeting people there. And I got to tell you something, Felicia. From 2001 to 2006, I tore up Houston 3 to 4 times a year.
I am sure.
In a bad way. Like, I had 3 different coke dealers. I had 2 weed salesmen. I had 3 different pill guys. I mean, it was fucking crazy. And I thought about that last week. I'm like, wow, I used to be a terror in Houston.
Yeah.
And Pete used to own the club, and I used to stay in his partner's house across from Pete's. It was fucking crazy. So I would stay right in River Oaks, or I would stay in the hotel downtown, but it was 2 different. I remember going there for the Houston Comedy Festival and going from my hotel room to the club and back to the hotel room just to do blow.
Wow.
That was a fucking horrible week, and I'm very embarrassed about it. Like,
Really?
yeah, it was. It was really like.
But there must have been other people, tons of people doing it with you.
Oh
right?
no, the whole fucking hotel was
Really?
on fire, and it was really like a shame. Like I left there, like, you know, I never really went to a festival, but I never were dreaming being like this. Like it was just a cocaine thing. Like it was
Yeah.
just everybody. It's Houston.
Yeah.
And at the time, that's what the Laugh Stop
No,
was
those,
about.
those people,
You
can
know, and,
fucking party
yeah,
down
those
there.
people can
Bill
party.
Hicks didn't, come upon that idea all by his lonesome.
And you know, all you need is a guy that just needed a push. You know, all I
Yeah.
needed was a push at that fucking club. You know, I'd walk off the stage at the Last Stop, go to the bar, and start drinking Jaegers, and 15 people would buy me Jaegers, and all of a sudden I'd buy a gram, and 2 people would put rocks in my hand, and it's
Yeah.
off and running. The good thing about Houston is fucking hangover food is the best in Houston, Texas. More people go out to dinner in Houston, Texas than anywhere else in the country. The food is that fucking amazing, and I can't wait. I already got my menu in my motherfucking head. It's the 9th fattest city in the fucking country. It used to be number 2.
Well, with all that barbecue, which I
Fuck the barbecue, the kolaches and shit for
Oh,
breakfast.
really?
They got those little hot dogs with the bread around them with jalapeno. You eat 6 of
really?
those for breakfast. You go in fucking Houston and you say you want oatmeal. See what happens to you.
Oh, no.
See
you
if they
can't
don't take
do
you
that,
by your
yeah.
hand, throw you outside, and bitch slap you to
Yeah,
death.
that's true,
Go to
that's
Houston asking for a latte and see what happens in the good parts. They'll bust your fucking head. It's black coffee, bitch, no sugar.
Well, I have to tell you, one of the darkest moments I ever had doing comedy was in Houston, Texas, because I was playing at the Laugh Stop, and at that time, a lady
The
owned
wife
it.
owned
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
She always owned it,
Yeah,
but
what
everybody
was her
lied
name?
and said that
Margie?
Margaret or Margie.
Yeah. And my mother had passed away, and I had just gotten there on Wednesday, and my mother passed away that day, and it was before cell phones, or mine wasn't working because I had just gotten one, and Margie came to my room, and I was getting ready for the show, and she was like, "Hey, I wanted to tell you that they've been calling me, the coroner's office, and that your mother has passed away." And she was a class act lady because she gave me my week's worth of pay. I didn't even do one show. She helped me book my plane ticket. And I have to tell you that club owners, some of them can kiss my ass, but there are some out there that really are solid people, and I was so surprised, and she was the right person for that to happen to, because I had played that club all the time. It was like a very comfortable place. I had done my first comedy album there, and that was just such a trippy time for me. But I love Houston. Texas is pretty fucking awesome,
You know, and I used to go to all parts, from El Paso to Dallas. I'm not a big San Antonio guy. I would never go down there. I went there for one festival one year, but Houston, I mean, I was getting ready to fucking move to Houston at one time.
Oh, really?
I was serious. I had a couple of radio people I had spoken to. I didn't know if they were real or not. My wife looked in the paper. We looked at places where to live, air conditioner prices.
Yeah.
I mean, I was ready to go. I really enjoy that city.
Yeah.
And the heat's a motherfucker, but like I said, I'll stay in and do air conditioning, and I don't have to go out unless I really have to go out. But I'm just like fucking, they got this place, Berry Hill, and they have a tremendous gay neighborhood. It's one of the best gay neighborhoods in the country. It's called Montrose.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And they got so many good restaurants in Montrose. They got a Puerto Rican joint. They got this place called Barnaby's, where it's fucking amazing. You know, my friends used to tease me, like the country guys used to go, "You go to Barnaby's for meatloaf? Don't you know those guys come in there?" Listen, I don't give a fuck. If they come in there, so be it. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? I've had worse things in my system.
If you don't have eggs to bind your meat together,
Yeah,
just
fuck
put some
it.
cum in it.
I mean, they would always torture me, like, you go to Barnaby's for a fucking meatloaf, but they got a Mexican place on the corner. I mean, I am so excited just to go down there and eat, but it's not even as much as eating. It's the hospitality at the restaurants that you don't get here. They have removed something from the restaurants here that you have in Houston and in Texas, that even if you go to the counter to get food, they treat you a different way. The counter here means the counter in California. In Houston, it means something else. They'll come bring you fucking napkins. It's just weird. So I'm just looking for the whole experience. And like I said, I used to party down there. When I let my guard down like I used to in Houston, it's because I really liked and trusted the city.
Yeah.
I used to go to cities and do blow and party, but I go back to my hotel room. In Houston, I go out, and let me tell you another tidy fact about Houston. Houston also has the most strip clubs per capita.
Oh, really?
And in all those years I went to Houston, I never went to a strip club.
Wow, the drugs must have really been good.
I just had such a good time. I'm not a big
Yeah.
strip club guy, but I had
Yeah.
such a great time with the people. hanging out. We used to go to this bar named Lola's that didn't have windows. Okay, no windows at this bar. That's number one. Number two, every night the menu was different. So some nights you went in there and they were like, "What's on the Bogger, whatever that beer they drink down there, and fucking whiskey."
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
But what if I want gin? Go fuck your mother up the ass.
Need,
what if I want a Cosmopolitan? Go take your mother and fuck her up the ass again. Tonight, here, we serve whiskey and Weinbacher and Budweiser. That's it. And you'd have to drink fucking whiskey. And after a while, you're like, you know what? I like this shit. I like this kind of treatment. Like, fuck what you want to drink. This is what we're drinking tonight, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And that's all they'd have. So it was very interesting. I don't think I'll get to go there because I'm only there for 3 nights. And I got to be up early on Friday and Saturday, but I'm going to try my best to go around the town and say hello to all my old...
Well, very nice. Very nice. So, you know, when I went to the one-man show, I had a date.
Yes, you did.
You know, Joey, I am just a ridiculous creature. First of all, this weekend, the ex-activity partner, he sent me a friend request on Facebook. And I was all like, "Ooh, what do I do?" Because do I accept his friend request? You know, I mean, the con is I've been trying really hard to get over him, and I know you don't want to talk about it, and we're not because I'm doing my best. Because you said, "Fuck you, move on, Felicia," and I have moved on. But on the other hand, it does save me time. The pro is it does save me time from hacking into his Facebook and looking to see what he's doing. But I have been trying to move on, and Joey's just like, "Oh Christ!" I brought a date to your one-man show, and that was our 3rd date, and he's probably not going to be calling me again because it's. Here's what happened, Joey. I know you're just like, what? So we go back to his place, and so I was like, you know, it's been a while since I've had sex, right? So I was just like, it's gonna happen, right? And so I had 1 drink. You know, he doesn't drink, and so I was like, well, I'll just have 1, and then we were having sex, and then. He's a decent-looking guy, but he's not a big guy, and he's a runner. He has that kind of shriveled runner look, you know, like marathon runners do. And then he took off his pants. The biggest cock I'd ever seen, Joey. The biggest cock. I couldn't even get it in my mouth. It was like trying to, Joey, I swear to God. It was like trying to, what is that called when you put a cock way down your throat? What is that called?
Disgusting.
No, it's not.
I don't fucking know. What?
Well, it was like deep throating a double. That's how fucking big it was.
Did you deep throat his dick?
No, well, I couldn't even get it in my mouth. And as you guys know, I have a big mouth, and I was like stunned. I swear to God, Joey, I was like fucking stunned. Like I was struck dumb. And then we were having sex, and this is why I know he's not going to call me, because I was like the worst lay on the planet, you know, because I was just kind of laying there, you know, and pretending to be dead so he would stop, because it was so big, you know what I mean? It was just so wrong, Joey. And he's a nice guy, but I'm sure because I was just like, I couldn't take my eyes off of it. It was just not right. You know, anyway, I just thought I'd share that. But then it made me make a lot of decisions. You know, I didn't feel bad about it because I'm a good person, but I thought to myself, you know, as he was awkwardly walking me to my car, I thought, should I feel bad about this? But, you know, I don't feel bad about it because, honestly...
Did you tell him he had a big dick?
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, yay for me at first, but then after a while, and then, you know, like, it's, you know, it was an odd thing, you know, and I'm sure he thought, you know, I was being crazy, and he started smacking my ass, you know, like, you don't smack a chick's ass on the first date when she's had 1 Cosmo.
Why not?
No, you wait till the second date when she's 3 Cosmos in.
Oh, please.
Then you need to spank me because I've been very bad and I need a consequence, you know what I mean? So he smacks my ass, and then he was all trying to get up busy in the you know, in that part. I don't, you know, we've talked about this before. I don't like it.
You should have let that big dick go in your ass.
No way.
Just for fucking fun.
That cock was so
right
big.
Right there. You should have divergenized that cherry asshole of yours and popped that fucking white worm in that ass. You wouldn't know what to do.
Are you kidding me?
Why not?
Because his cock was so big, no matter what hole it would have been into, I would have punctured a lung. I mean, it was not good.
What kind of soldier are you? How big did he squirt in your face? What happened?
No.
You didn't squirt in your titties?
Stop fucking with me now. No.
You what? You what? You what?
Anyway.
What'd you say?
I said, stop fucking with me now.
No, I'm not fucking with you.
But he was spanking me, and then
So what's wrong with a little spank?
No, but I'm getting to the point.
Yeah.
So then but then he was trying to get busy up in there, and I didn't want to go. Don't do that, because I'm trying to be more mature as I grow older. And so I flipped him around, and then I was on top, and then I got a hold of the headboard, right? And the headboard started banging the wall, and he's like, "Oh, my neighbors are here. Don't do that." Like, are you fucking kidding me? You spank me. If you spank me, all fucking bets are off. I get to do whatever I get to set this fucking bitch on fire. You know what I mean? You spank me, something's getting on fire, right? Am I wrong? Anyway, so I was thinking to myself, I need to take myself off the dating sites, which I have, and I think I'm not going to go out with a man. I think I'm going to have a goal of not to go out with someone till after the holidays.
Can you fucking believe this, people?
I know.
She falls off, she gets stabbed by a big dick, and now she's done. A big dick, now she's religious. Next time I come here, she's gonna let me curse and shit, all because of big dick. Because you fucked up. You fucked up, see?
I didn't
You weren't
fuck
prepared
up.
for a big dick, and you bounced up and down. And
By the way, you can just never tell who has a big dick, is all I'm saying. I know it was wrong that the Nazis tattooed people, but I think guys with huge cocks should be tattooed. There should be a little tattoo.
I can't believe you, the queen of disaster, were not ready for this big cock.
I was not prepared.
I can't believe
thought I was going to do him a favor.
4 fucking weeks,
yeah.
you didn't get your fucking monkey wax, and all of a sudden he shows up with a
Longer than
machine
4
gun.
Weeks.
And so he didn't squirt a load on your eyeball?
No, there was no load on my eyeball.
What the fuck? None on your titties, nothing?
Well, because, here's what
What's the problem?
here's what I'm getting to, is
what
that, I was very affected by the breakup with the activity partner, and I've been mooning over it and being everyone's most boring friend about it. And I thought, well, I'll try to do anything to get over it, and I'm moving on. But for the fact that, I just realized I need to get my feelings in order before I start throwing it around again.
What's a big dick made you come to this conclusion? Can you believe
it was
like
really
a stop. It's like you were driving down the street, and instead of a stop sign, it was a big white dick on the road.
I couldn't even get the tip in my mouth, Joey. Look at my mouth, Joey.
So that made you tap out just because one dick made you fucking tap out?
Thinking that I was just thinking, if I'm going to hang out with people, with guys, I kind of want to find, I don't want to whore it all around completely. I mean, I want to have, I want to come to someone kind of fresh and, and not with all this shit on me, and I need some time to let the shit kind of roll off me right now for a while. Don't you ever feel like that?
No, I never ran into a dick, so I don't know what emotions fall off you. All I know is this is all, you're sitting there cracked because of a dick. A dick cracked you. A big fucking dick cracked you. That's the only way to look at this. This is psychologist. You have to take this to a fucking therapist. You have to make a call today and tell her, listen, I'm going to pay you $1.35. I'm going to tell you about this dick I ran into.
Actually, I'm going to therapy on Thursday.
Yeah, you have to tell her.
It made me call the therapist.
Yeah, you got to tell her. You got to say, look, let me tell you something.
Jesus
I wanted
Christ.
dick, but I hit the fucking Queen Mary here. I wanted 6'8" inches. I ran into a white guy with a big dick
I was surprised.
And a big helmet. Then he tried to put it in my ass. Then he wouldn't let me bang on the fucking board. You follow me? You got to tell this to the psychologist because they're going to prescribe something that's going to be all right. But.
Well, if you're with a guy with a big dick too, and by the way, I'm not the only woman that feels this way. I have tons of girlfriends who have had quite a few parties in their life who have said, when a big dick is not always the best thing, because you have a little fear when you're having sex when there's someone with a big dick. A nice size dick is always bonus, but when someone's really big, it gets awkward, and it's uncomfortable, and you want to be able to. You don't want to be laying there like, ooh, you want to be like, You
dirty freaks got to make up your mind. Big dick, little dick. Now look, this is the queen of pain. She's been fucking doing dicks 20 years, twisting them, breaking hearts, and all of a sudden she runs into a dick, and look at her. She's tapping out. All of a sudden she's putting the headgear back on. It's over. It's over. She's putting the mouthpiece back in. It's over. She's going to work on her game for 3 months. She realized you got to tighten up that fucking monkey. It's a jungle out there.
Well, here's the thing. If you're with someone who has a big dick and all the time, if you're having sex with them, it might stretch you out. And then every guy after that is going to be like throwing a hot dog down the hallway. I really love going on the Facebook, and every morning you're like, it's a beautiful day, bitches. You always have like some little positive things shaking. And I, like an old woman, appreciate it. Said the couch.
You know, sometimes just saying it makes it a beautiful day. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes just saying it and putting it out there, it's better than putting out, it's a shitty fucking rainy day. Because that sits in the back of your head all day. You know? And people don't get that. I don't understand how people don't get that. Every time I fucking wake up in the morning, it's like, it's a whole new day. It's like my sins have been erased. And that's the way I was since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I love the fucking mornings. I don't get when people say to me, dog, I slept till 2. I never understood that. That's a part of my life that
I never did that either. I was never a
we
big
were just
sleeping.
talking about people have quirks. You know, yesterday I got up and I went swimming. And what happened was, the truth of the matter was, I fucking passed out from eating a pot cookie at 9, you know. I watched whatever the fuck it was, not Sons of Anarchy, but I watched something, and I passed out. And I got up at 4, and I was feeling great because it was a cookie. I had gone to yoga on Monday. So I went swimming, you know, and I wrote it down, and people went fucking berserk. Like, my God, positivity. You know, it was just, it's not that I planned it. I don't want people to think like Joey Diaz gets up. No, I just happen to get up and get stoned. Because once you get stoned, like you were saying, you go on Facebook first, fuck that. I pee, I brush my teeth, I throw some water on my face. I go in the kitchen, the red dot is on the coffee machine, it's set for 5:30. I put my cup in that motherfucker and I fill it up. I put that cancer sugar in there. I go back to that room, I drop the coffee down, I pick up the computer, I put the dot on, it warms up. I go to the fucking kitchen, I take the bong, I fill it up with water and an ice cube. And an ice cube so it doesn't hurt my throat in the morning. That's how I roll. Okay. It's too early to hit. No and I go right back to the computer. Before I even hit fucking Facebook, Hotmail, whatever, I go to YouTube and I put on my mother's favorite song. Every fucking morning I put Tony Bennett, I Want to Be Around. I put that on every fucking morning while I'm doing my first bong hit. I thank the Lord for giving me another day. I thank the Lord for my friends. I hope the Lord looks over my whoever the Lord may be. It could be Buddha, it could be some fucking black guy with an afro in Africa. I don't know who God is, but it's not up to me and it's not up to anybody else. I just put these things out and I pray for my friends that nothing bad happens. I pray for my enemies that nothing bad happens for them. I pray for everybody in the morning. And I just say it. I go, God, just think of all these motherfuckers. Think of the soldiers that are dead. Think of the people we had in our lives that aren't there no more. Give them light. And that's the first thing I do in the morning. And after that, my day is fucking complete. You're stoned, you said thank you to be alive, and you came to terms with life. And that's it. What the fuck else is bad? I could always get a breakfast. Even if I don't have money, I'll get my fat ass over here and eat breakfast with the kids. Those marshmallows and those fucking blue. Do you understand me? I mean, but people don't really look at it that way. Yeah. Even when I was fucking destitute and gotten up and thinking about blow, I would always go, wow, I can't believe I'm thinking about blow. At least I'm thinking. Yeah. How many people aren't fucking thinking that aren't this fortunate? You know, people are, oh my God, it was such a bad day, I got a flat. Bitch, you got a flat. That means you got a car. What about the people taking a bus today in the fucking rain? You ever think of that? So sometimes you really, and it's really, man, it made a lot of bad situations in my life a lot fucking better. Yeah. You know, you just go for the best. And after that, it's on. After that, after I get the reefer going and I hug the cats and tell them cocksucker and I make my first call to Jersey, then you ain't stopping me. And guess what? What? It's only 6:15.
I know, dude. You get up early. You get up early.
By the time I've already sent emails,
earlier than I do.
Felicia, I've sent emails. I've told people to go fuck themselves. I've told club owners to suck my dick.
I recently saw that you told someone to go fuck themselves.
No, on Twitter. The kid wanted me to tell him to go fuck himself.
Oh, really?
So he could frame it. He wanted to take a picture.
Oh, really?
He's like, you got to do me a favor. Tell me to go fuck myself, cocksucker.
I know. You know what's so funny? Because I've been trying to be more active on Twitter per your request. And I saw that on there and I was all like, what the fuck is that about?
Oh, please. Once a week, you always have a war on Twitter. If you don't have a war on Twitter, you ain't... There's always some fucking momo who signs up every 3 weeks under an alias and just fucks with people. And it's hysterical. Like, sometimes I look at him, like I had a kid last week, that this was the weirdest thing. Just, this is what I woke up to, Felicia. You know, you'd listen to music. I got Judas Priest on. The room smells like Chung's fucking underwear. You know, by 6 o'clock, I've already done 6 bong hits. You know, I've already had a cup of coffee. You know, I'm about to eat my Special K or my oatmeal. And I wake up to this kid on Twitter that said to me, hey, you grew up with my dad, and he said that you were nothing but a junkie piece of shit. Whatever, and I thought about it, looked at the name, and I'm like, I don't even know the fucking name. So later on I came back, and he wrote the same thing over again. Like, how destitute is your life that you're on Twitter telling people that they're junkies? And I laughed. I thought about it. I go, well, where's your father right now? And he's like, you know, running the fucking trucking company. We're running shit. What are you running? You know, what the fuck are you running? So later on, he goes, why don't you really tell the people that you suck coke for cock or cock for coke or something? And I had to fucking just fire back, like, because he seemed a little retarded. He spelled cock and coke wrong. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, once you spell cocaine and cock wrong and you're a guy.
You gotta really.
You really gotta be stupid. So I just realized that. And those people don't bother me. They just think they're cute and they'll say little remarks to you. And think about what their fucking day is like. Think about what's in their head, that they're hiding behind a computer, saying things to people about their videos or about their comedy or about their fat or something. You sit there and go, really? You sit behind a computer? I say it all the time. But at least I say it to people and have a good time with them.
Right.
You're sitting there behind a computer with a fake fucking name.
People get really mean because they don't have to take any personal responsibility. Like, if you're a person and you're around other people and your nature is just to be mean like that all the time, you stop yourself because you see other people's reaction to it and how they might want to be violent with you in some sense because it's so terrible. But when you're behind a computer and you don't have to put your name to it, you don't see it, so you don't take the cue that how that comes across, you know?
You know, and it's really weird.
So that means something's wrong with you.
Yeah, no, it's really weird that a lot of people have said to me, you know, over the years, I put this video up of me going skiing, and people said, go fuck myself. And I was like, isn't that fucking weird? Isn't that weird that you're just putting up a video trying to be nice, not even being like an asshole, and people telling you to go fuck yourself, you know? It's like... You know, only in today's world. And the guy that wrote "Go Fuck Yourself" probably thinks he's a genius. Like he's going and telling his friends, "Hey, man." Or people like that don't even have friends, to be honest with you. The other day we were talking about your situation when you got scared straight by the cock.
You know what? I gotta tell you a funny story about that. When after you left, and then I was, doing my mom thing, and then, and then I put the kids to bed, and then I was thinking, it's not really right, like, that I'm talking about some guy's big cock, like, like that. He might think I'm being snarky in a way where I'm mad at him, or I'm weird to him, and I'm not. He's a really nice guy. But I felt bad, but then on the other hand, I was like, well, I could take it out of the podcast, because I edit the podcast.
I'll kill you.
And
I'll kill you. Because this is what fucking inquiring minds want to know.
I know, but
that a cock threw Felicia Michaels off. This is news breaking. When this hits Twitter, fucking, it's over.
No, I've already Twittered it 23 times.
That he had a big dick.
No. I'm kidding. But so I felt really bad, and then it just kind of stuck with me until the next morning, and then I was all like, well, that's not fair to him. I mean, he's a really nice guy, and so I was like, I gotta write it. So I gotta write it with him by writing him. You know what I mean? Because we haven't really spoken since anything happened. But I was in Austin, and like it's when you first meet a person, it's always awkward. So so I wrote him, and I said, hey, here's something. I was in Austin, and I was talking about our escapade the week before, and I, wrote some jokes about it, and I always like to tell someone if I'm going to do jokes about them, after I've already done it the first time, you know what I mean, and it gets a laugh, I'll do it the second time, whatever. So, but I didn't. I was so nervous, and then he wrote back, well, what kind of jokes? And like, how do I write that? Like, it's easy to sit there and say in a microphone, I said cock or whatever, but then to write it, when you write your actions down on a piece of paper, it's like not right, So I'm like, about Mr. Big, like, I don't know what to write. Like, I get all shy all of a sudden, right? And he's like, well, what kind of jokes? And I said, well, one of the punchlines is, it was so big, it was like deep-throating an In-N-Out double-double. By the way, my dad is really proud of me. You know what I mean? Like, what do you write? You know what I mean? Like, I was so embarrassed. But here's the other side. I did get a lot of funny jokes out of it, you know, and I really do want to do those jokes, but I don't know, I just worried about it. But he was okay with it, so.
Fuck the jokes. Listen to me. You're giving this guy fucking free advertising. You're going on a podcast that gets thousands of hits, that he has the biggest dick ever, and that it didn't fit in your mouth. This coming from the freak galore. You understand me? You're the freak galore that said, listen, this dick was serious. The look on your face, is like when, you know, like when people are going to go fuck with somebody, they're like, dog, don't go fuck with those Puerto Ricans. They'll stab you. That's how you were. You were like, that dick was fucking big. It scared me. Right now, there's women at home. They're going to listen to this and go, that dick scared Felicia. That fucking dude is the dude for me. So you're giving the dude free fucking advertising. This is better than Starbucks. You don't have to say nothing. You don't have to say nothing. He's never going to listen to the podcast, and nobody's ever going to fucking tell him. The guy had a big dick, and you haven't been yourself. You're thinking of going back to church. You're thinking of getting off fucking Match.com. You won't kiss your kids no more on the cheek.
I have an appointment with my therapist.
You have an appointment with your therapist. This dick changed your fucking life. This wasn't just a cock. This was a mind-changing cock. Like, it made you, like, you went home and you're like, I'm going to start becoming a better mother. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to call ITT Tech. You know what I'm saying? You were all fucked up by this. You're all right now giggling, but not 2 days ago. You were like, I can't believe I took that fucking cock.
It's so true. Like, the whole thing has been
Where is my life going to? Like, that's what it really, like, you just, and if you sit your girl, this is like an episode of Sex and the City. If you sit your girls down right now and go, listen, I had a problem the other night. They're like, what? Some guy hit you? Joey cursed at you? No. I ran into the cock of death. All right, this was, and they'll always say, "Oh, Felicia, stop it!" Ha 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 ha. You're like, no, I seen it. Some people see Bigfoot. I seen the fucking cock.
There could be a Bigfoot now. By the way,
now there's a Bigfoot.
I believe there could be Bigfoot now.
So don't worry. You should have said nothing. Don't claim liability for nothing. Just run with it. Tell the story. Let people know the dick you seen and how it affected you. You even had to take a Tums when you left there. It fucked you up so bad. That's how bad that dick was.
Right. No, it's you know. And by the way, he was really cool about it, and he even texted me later. You know, he's going on a trip. He texted me, when I get back, I'll give you a big load of new material.
That's what he wrote back? Oh, fuck. And you're in. Now you're thinking about that big dick. See, now you have a strategy. You're going to go back.
Now, yeah, if I would have known, I would have had a strategy.
See, now you have a strategy. Now you went home. You settled yourself. You did a couple downward dogs. Yeah. And you're ready, you know what I'm saying? You're like, this dick's going all the way in me. You call the doctor, you got the right vitamins and shit, you know what I'm saying? You took some opera lessons, you're going to bring some moisturizer for your teeth and shit.
I brought my chapstick.
You brought your chapstick.
And my Orajel.
And your Orajel and the stuff for the back thoraceptic, so it makes the throat fucking easy to go down. Now you're prepared, you know what I'm saying? And you might as well lose your fucking asshole virginity to this guy.
No, I
gotta might as well let that fucking monster go in that ass.
It's not going to happen.
And rip it apart like 1,000 leagues under the sea.
One thing, it has to be for me, you know? I
already
reveal so much with my comedy and in my personal life, you know?
So you're not going to let him fuck you in the ass?
I am never going to have sex in my ass. One thing has to remain for me. Like,
right now, listen, you know, all I know is if I was you right now, and I'm, you know, I mean, what do you got left on this planet? 30 years. Imagine if you just work with me here. Let him see if he could stick his dick in your ass and just go backwards and see if you could just go for like a little ride. You know what I'm saying? Like you're holding on, like, whoa, like your feet are like 3 inches. I always wanted to see a woman do that. And I wanted you to just take the adventure.
Yeah, just to you know.
Just Vaseline the muffler and let it all slide in.
It's like when you were a kid and you used to play airplane with your father. You mean like that kind of
Same
move?
Thing, only on a fucking guy's dick.
Yeah.
I mean, I just can't. I can't believe that this is. You're saying these words to me. I mean, this is something that I never fucking expected from you, ever saying that I ran to the cock of death. You ran into like Mengele. You know what I'm saying? Like you ran into like fucking Mengele.
No,
that's
and
what
it happened. Listen, it was you know, I mean, it was nice, but it was, you know,
a little too big. I just were you stoned? Were you high? Were you drinking?
No.
Nothing when you went over there?
Yeah, maybe that's the sober part of it.
That's the problem. Pretty interesting. The last couple of days, you've been talking to me about going down to Occupy
L.A.
Yeah. And it's really funny. Today we got the rain.
The Occupy Wall Street.
Occupy Wall Street. It's so funny how when you talk to different people about it, everybody has their different views on what they don't like. You know, what's the thing that bothers you the most about this?
About.
Like, why would you want to go down there? And what? Like, my main thing is like, I don't like. Listen, corporate America. If you didn't see this coming, you fucking morons, then you should all be shot and hung. We all should be shot and hung. We all seen this coming, and we all played games with it, and we all giggled at first when the prices were good and all this shit. And now, the thing I don't like about what's going on in my society is they've destroyed the mom and pop. That's the biggest problem to me.
Yeah.
They've destroyed the way that me and Felicia can move to Kansas City and go, Felicia, we don't want to do comedy no more. We just want to get married and raise the kids and open up a fucking bodega. We can't do that no more because we can't compete with 7-Eleven. We can't compete. I think the corporations have just destroyed us in a way. Whether it's the phone, and they all shaft us up the ass at the end. They all shaft us up the ass. They give us one thing, but you pay for it in the other way. I mean, it's just...
Well, I think it's like when we were talking about earlier about faceless people on the internet who just are negative, and that there's no responsibility because you don't have to look anyone in the eye. There's no cues that you're getting. And I feel that way about corporate America. I feel like, it boils down to exactly what you're saying about the mom and pop shops. It's, you had to go to the mom and pop shop. You had eye contact. You know what I mean? It was important, and that aspect of society has gone away, and it's made these kind of companies, you don't even know who owns what. Like my mortgage, who really owns my mortgage? I pay my mortgage. There are people out there that don't even know what bank holds their mortgages. You know what I mean? Like something is not right, that they're charging $5 a month or $10 a month so that you could have a car to spend your own money. They're charging that. You know what I mean? It's not right. And it kind of, I'm going to say this, and I hope it doesn't offend anybody, but I don't like seeing Jimmy Fallon do prop falls for fucking credit card companies. I don't like that. That makes me sad for everyone. That it's just got to stop. Like some personal responsibility needs to be taken by everybody.
Listen, I'm not a big political guy, and I've always gone against talking about politics on the podcast because I hate talking about politics or religion. It always goes in a different direction. And you know what? Sometimes I say negative words on here. You know what words I'm talking about? Nigger and gay and shit like that as a joke. And I think sometimes people get more offended when you attack their political beliefs. It's fucking crazy. I've seen it.
True.
You go to Houston, Texas, for example. You could go on stage and talk about eating pussy. I stabbed the fucking whore. I fucked the chick up the ass. They giggle and take the ride. Say one thing about Bush if you got the balls.
Right.
Go ahead. I fucking dare you. Austin's pretty much the only place you can say a Bush joke on stage in Texas. Everywhere else, they'll fucking clam up on you. And that's one example. I'm letting you people know what offensive is and what offensive is to some people. But it's so weird how I'm Cuban, Felicia. You come from German descent, whatever the fuck it is. Somewhere along the line, somewhere from our family came here. For me, the deepest one I know is my mother. And yeah, my mother was a bookie, and they sold heroin. But you know what? My mother opened the lights up because she opened up a Cuban restaurant. And at first it was a dinerette, like just a dinerette, sandwiches and soups. And it was in front of a high school, which I went to when I went to New York. And they worked hard. It was in 1956. And they worked hard. From there, they opened up a bar. But that was all part of the American dream. That was the American dream.
Right.
They borrowed $3,000 from my father's family and opened up a luncheonette, and then they took that money, sold it, and turned it into a bar, and then they had the bookmaking stuff, and whatever they did, negative or positive, that was part of the American dream. The part of the American dream that I could look at you and say, Felicia, tomorrow I'm going to open up a fucking microphone store. In Burbank. You ever go to Burbank and drive down Burbank? They have all these neat little places.
Oh, yeah, they have those strange train stores.
Train stores
the
and model stores.
Store.
Stores that wouldn't survive anywhere else.
Yeah.
And every once in a while I pull over. They have the Martial Arts Museum, like a Hall of Fame. And I walk around and I'm going, you know what? I wish that I was into this stuff. I would support these businesses. They have the dumbest fucking businesses.
I saw when it's a St. Patty's store. Everything four-leaf clover. Like, what? How does that survive all year round?
But to me, that's your form of expression.
Yeah.
So it's not a corporate fucking business. But it's somebody that had a dream one day and said, I like St. Patty's Day. I'm going to open up a fucking St. Patty's store.
Yeah.
And you find 22-minded people, whatever the word is, and you all see, like-minded, and you go over there. But to me, that's what this country's about. It's about a dream that I could say, you know what, Felicia, fuck the 401k. I'm going to open up a gas station and start by fixing fucking bicycles for kids in the neighborhood. That business, all that shit has disappeared in our country. You know, we have no jobs because of that. That they've cut down the bottom fucking end for everybody. You know, and if it's not that, we're giving, you know, you call Bank of America. I'll give Bank of America the fucking $5 a month, but I want fucking Rita or a girl named Nancy answering my fucking calls. Or I'm sorry, a guy named John. I don't want to call India and tap out because I don't know what the fuck they're saying. After 40 minutes, you know, I'm with you for customer service because I want time. I'll give Bank of America the $5 a month. I'll give it to them. But I want them to hire fucking Americans. That's what I want. I want them to leave fucking India and open up a place in Ohio. I'm in. To be honest with you. I'm not going to boycott them because every bank we're going to go to is going to try to fuck us in the ass. Citibank today announced that if you don't have 15 grand in your bank account, they're going to fucking tax you every fucking month. Who's got 15 grand in their fucking bank account in their rotating whatever every day? Most of this country is trying to feed families and shit like that. Again, I didn't want to get political and get all sentimental. I'm sorry, Felicia.
That's okay. No, I agree completely with you. And by the way, we'd like to hear some of your opinions out there. If you want to give us a shout out via our new webpage.
That's right, bitches.
We have a new webpage I've been working really hard on. And it has the animation on it. And if you want to, you can email us through that at beautyandthebeast.com. Or you can email us at thebeautyandthebeastpodcast@gmail.com.
And coming soon, I've been getting a lot of emails about the leftover Beauty and the Beast shirts. We're going to put them up for sale on our swag page, Falling Off the Truck page, along with other artists, T-shirts and whatnot, and that's coming soon. I don't know, not soon enough, but soon, all right? So just relax and don't ask me about the shirts no more. We'll post them. We're going to give you a great deal on them, and me and Felicia are going to rub them on our balls or pussy and mail them to you personally, okay? And that's it, Mama. Where you at this weekend?
I have this week off, and then next weekend... I'm going to stick around town for a while, you know, so I want to get my kids. My kids are kicking ass at school, so I want to really try to do it. Yeah, get them going, and so I'm going to be home.
What are you going to be for Halloween, you dirty bitch?
Oh, what am I going to be for Halloween? I don't know.
Catwoman? No. With those glasses? You look very sexy tonight with glasses.
You know, I'm not a dress-up person at Halloween. I'm kind of boring like that. Like when I went to Burning Man with Wendy, part of going to Burning Man is just dressing up and being all crazy. And I just want to hang out.
You don't need to burn up. You got the fucking goods. You got the goods. Yeah. What you should do when you suck that guy's dick again, you should wear 3D glasses and see if it gives you the full effect. You know what I'm saying? Like what it looks like. You look very beautiful with glasses on, by the way, Felicia. Very sexy. Very sexy. Yeah. Well, we love you, cocksuckers, as usual. Thanks for coming to hang out with me on a rainy day, Joey. Thank you, beautiful. Have a great week, guys. Stay black. See you in Brea next Wednesday night, cocksuckers. Bye. Bye.